game begin.
Green light. Red light.
Player 324 eliminated.
This is a really interesting show that I saw on Netflix called Squid Game. I had to admit, when I went into it, I had no idea what it was going to be about. It initially starts off with this narration about kids playing a game called the Squid Game, and when the kid comes first, feels like he's on the top of the world. So we're going to be reviewing episode 1. There's this guy who lives with his mother. He has a serious gambling problem. He's obviously divorced from his wife, and he loves his daughter very much. The grandmother says, hey, you need to go and use that money I just gave you to get something for your daughter, for my granddaughter. Well, I mean, she doesn't really need it though, so like, you know, just gonna... This woman never sits still, which is actually good for old people because once they slow down, they start dying. Oh boy.
Get your fat ass back here.
He gives her a little extra money, but then he goes and takes her credit card. Like seriously, who steals from their mother? He tries to draw out money, but he forgets the password. Now that I'm thinking of it, I think it's their credit card, like maybe his credit card, but he's supposed to use it to take care of them, but he's using it to gamble instead. He bets on some horses, he loses, and then wins. After the win, he celebrates. After counting his money, he gives the counter lady some of the money back. You may think 4.5 million Korean won is a lot of money, but it's actually only about $3,800 in US dollars, which isn't that much. But for a guy like him, it's a lot of money. Before he even gets to enjoy it and he promises his daughter a great meal, he sees some fishy guys coming towards him. They beat him up. Turns out he owes them money. Like, why are you betting and throwing away money if you owe people money? Like, it's clearly an addiction for people to be making these stupid choices over and over again. Before running into the bathroom, this girl accidentally got slammed into him. She's gonna be important later. And it was at this point in the movie where I had to switch from the English back to the Korean, because the Korean just sounds so much better. This guy speaking in English sounds so stupid compared to when he's speaking in the original language. Sometimes the dubs are good, sometimes they suck. Most of the time, they suck. He tells him to sign over the rights to his body, because if he does not come up with the money, he's gonna take parts of his body, starting with his kidneys and then his eyes. He tries gambling what little money he has left. He needs to get a birthday present for his daughter, and the kid offers to help him out. The main character's daughter is very worried about him because of the fights. Daddy, I don't care you get into fights, just like don't die though. He wastes all the money, so he wasn't able to get her a good dinner, but she still enjoys it because it's her dad. He won the gift box, and it turned out to be one of those lighters that are shaped like guns. He said next year will be better, but what he doesn't know is that the wife, the stepdad, and the daughter are all moving to the USA next year, so he'll never get to see her again. Some guy that looks like the guy from Train to Busan. I don't know if it's him, but it kind of looks like him. Man, it really, really looks like... Now I have to look it up. I am so sorry. Like, this always happens, but I gotta look it up. Sorry. Okay, there's Gong Yu. I'm pretty certain this is him. Yup, it's him. This is great. Well, mystery solved. So Gong Yu offers him a game. He says, if you can flip my little cardboard paper thingy, then I'll give you like $100,000, which is like 80 bucks in US dollars. And as you can guess, our main character loses half the time. Gi-hun, the main character, he tries and continues losing. But as with most gamblers who are addicted, they don't give up. As a price for losing, because he can't pay back the money, he gets slapped as payment. It's outrageous and embarrassing, but not bad enough to deter him from playing. Obviously, this is all set up, and the guy tells him, look, if you want to win bigger prizes, kind of like this, then sign the rights. You did sign away the rights to your body anyway, but here's a card. Call this number when you're ready. Back home, Gi-hun's mother tells him that he needs to fight to keep his daughter here, but he has no money. He has no way of offering her a stable environment to fight for custody. What's scary is if she moves to the US, she's young enough that she can learn English and completely forget Korean. Feeling the pressure on, he looks on the back of the card that the guy gave him, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna call this number. But really, don't call this number, because apparently it was a real number and somebody got harassed. A weird figure in a red hoodie and a mask shows up in a van. After telling the guy the password, a gas releases in the van cabin and puts him to sleep with all the other people in there. When he wakes up, he's in a strange place. There's a whole bunch of beds with a whole bunch of people in there too. They're dressed just like him. All his belongings are gone, and he's given a number, 456. There are people with red hoodies and weird shapes on their masks all around. The leader is dressed differently, and he has a strange polygonal mask.
I am your father.
Gi-hun befriends an old man who is number 1, the first one to have gone there. The old man doesn't wild out though. He is the first candidate there, and he's happy and quite calm because he has a brain tumor that's inoperable. He's gonna die anyway. With Gi-hun being the last one and being number 456, there's a total of 456 players. It's a very interesting dynamic because the old man is the first player and Gi-hun is the last player. So them making a friendship between each other kind of connects that circle. The girl, whose coffee was spilled by Gi-hun as he was fleeing the gangsters, is here too. Turns out that she had pickpocketed the money. Gi-hun had suspected this, but there was no real way to prove it. She has her own dark demons with this gangster here himself. He beats her up and then Gi-hun's like, that's the girl who stole my money. Gi-hun goes and tries to hassle the girl, telling her to give him his money. He learns pretty quickly he doesn't want to mess with this shark guy. He tries getting people to help him, but everyone's minding their own business. The red-hooded figures come out. They tell them, hey, we have your information. We played a game with you. You signed your rights away. You decide to come here. They also have the past in every single one of these people, and every single one of the people here are in some deep, deep debt or have done some criminal things for money. Just like the Saw game, this is a way for them to redeem themselves, and you know there's going to be death involved. No stranger comes up to you asking if you want to play a game and promising you a reward at the end if there isn't death involved. They take their pictures, and the whole place looks like some giant playground. The boss sits in his little golden cabin and watches everything from surveillance. They're ready to play the first game, and the inside of it kind of looks like the sky. There's this big robot girl standing in a tree, and they're going to be playing the game 1, 2, 3 red light. Now, take note that the voice on the intercom says, if your movement is detected, you will be eliminated. This robot thing is going to be counting or singing or whatever. And as soon as she calls out red light and turns around, if she sees you moving, you are eliminated. Notice that the word does not say disqualified. It said eliminated, which could mean anything. And I immediately knew it was going to mean death. How did I know? Because this is this kind of show. If I said movie before, I apologize. But yeah, that's what this is. Everything is ominous and there's some criminal activity going on. There's no way that death is not involved. And, you find out quickly that that is indeed the case. They run, but as she turns around, there are little cameras in her eyes that detect someone moving after he was supposed to stop. There's a loud bang and he drops to the floor. Doesn't take long for people to realize that they're being shot. Then as soon as blood starts spraying, everyone starts screaming and running for the hills. Except there are no hills, and they all get shot down. People just start dying left and right, and the boss man is enjoying himself as he watches all of this. The rest of the people were smart, and they either froze in fear or froze because they knew that was the rule. The old man, seemingly crazy, having the time of his life, quickly catches on and everyone follows his lead. Gi-hun is freaking out, but this other guy, who he then makes friends with later, tells him that he needs to get up. Not only will the doll get them if it senses movement, but if the timer runs out and you're not past the red line, you're gonna get killed anyway. Time is running out. And the music that plays around this time, it's so perfect for this episode. The way the music is playing in the background tells us how much the psycho who made this game thinks it is funny or thinks it's entertaining. He's sitting there sipping his beer or alcohol or wine or whatever it is while he's watching people get killed on screen. Then something crazy happens. Right as the robot is about to turn around, Gi-hun trips and he would have gotten shot if someone didn't grab him. This Pakistani guy who was freaking strong. He was able to catch him in mid-fall and hold him up. The way the music stops playing or it pauses right at this moment with the tension and then continues when the robot turns around is excellent. Everyone else gets killed and Gi-hun and his newfound friends make it to the other side. Now everyone understands that this isn't really a game. This is a fight for survival. And with that, episode 1 is over. What a freaking trip. After we saw this, we were freaking addicted to the show and we're almost finished. This show is badass. You should definitely go see it. If you want more of this, just let me know. Some people like to see where things are going before they commit to it. And that's what I want to do. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.